What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. I got a very special video here for you guys. We got 3 stocks that we're going to go over and do technical analysis on. Now, the first one is LCI, the second one is BOXL, and then the third one I'm saving for last. And this is the special one that went supernova the first hour of the day. And we'll let that one run out through the end of this video. But I want to show you guys the importance in this video of not chasing these stocks, letting them spike, pulling back. It's a great example why I love this video, and I'm putting so much work into this video. The importance of pattern recognition, familiarizing yourself with all these patterns. We see a beautiful bull flag pattern set up on one of these, and it had a great, you could have taken great advantage of it. So let's jump right into it. The first one up, LCI. LCI has a flow of 32 million, and it has news that it signs a sales agreement for 50 million upfront payment. Now this all happened on November 12th, and you could see right here the market literally just opened like 8 minutes ago. So let me go ahead and hit play on this. And LCI, when it came out with the news, it gaps up from the 530 level up to 630 and fell right back down. And today it opens at 540, and it looks like it's already spiking from 540 up to 6 right now. But what I seen on this was the bid and the ask was very thin on this when it was traded. See a whole bunch of buying orders coming in. The thing I don't like about it is it's up right now 40 cents, but it is working its way up to that mental area of $6. I just don't like how the bid and the ask is really thin. But at first it seems like there's really no volume pushing into this. Comes up to the $6 area. Breaks through $6. And LCI does something pretty scary as well. Watch as it starts to spike. Watch it pull back and how far it pulls back. The bid and the ask is still pretty thin. I really don't see the times and sales moving like it should be. This thing should be going crazy, and we're only 10 minutes into the market open. It came up above $6 and fell right back down below it. Now it's starting to pick up momentum. Here it goes from the 580s level up to 615. Starting to see a lot of selling, and something just popped up here on the ask. A 19,237 share seller here at 611. So as soon as that popped up, just before that popped up actually, we started to see it struggle. I just rewinded it 10 seconds. Go back. We're starting to see some selling, and there it is right there. It pops up, and from 6 it immediately pulls back a little bit, comes back up to that level. It can't break through it. People panic and they start to sell it, and it drops. And then you see how the tape just stops. I'm not seeing consistent flow with the tape here. And if you look at the volume bars as well, you see how the first 2 candles right here, they're declining in buying volume. And look at that. It's right back down to 580, and it's breaking below 580, down to 575. We were just looking at this at the 615 level, and now it's down to 575. And look at that big green or red, look at that big red selling candle right there. Just a nasty stock this is. It likes to rip up and rip down real fast. This is a stock you would have to be very fast with. But I'm not liking that the bid and the ask is very, very thin. And this is on the New York Stock Exchange. Literally spikes pretty much up to the high of where it did pre-market. And I'm still not seeing really strength on this. Bid and ask still is very thin. And here comes all the selling. See, I'm just not liking the strength of this. The times and sales just keeps pausing. The bid and the ask is very thin, like I said. This is about done for. This is what it did for the day. After that, it just puttered out and went sideways the rest of the day. And then the next day after that, opens up here at 550, drops down to 516, and rips up to 583. Just slowly but surely dying off, as you can see right here. It did have a nice run up 2 days ago right here from this 425 up to $6 level. But if you were to go back and look at the chart history on this, you've seen that it found resistance right here at $6. When we were just doing technical analysis on this, it was struggling to hold above the $6 level. And when it came right back down, right around the area where it did right here, and the area it was hanging around right here. So it was finding good support here at 550, and from 550 to 575 would have been a good range on this. And then here it cracked below 550 and then quickly rebound up. Back up to 575, pulls back to the 550 area and shoots up to 583. And then next up we got BOXL. Now BOXL has a float of 2.3 million and it reports earnings the next day. And this is spiking from $3 up to $3.70. Look at how much thicker the bid is compared to the ask, compared to the previous stock we just looked at, LCI. And the tape is moving much more fluently than what LCI is. Now, right now, I would just be watching this. I wouldn't be chasing it right now because it literally just ran from $3 up to $3.85. I want this to run. I want it to pull back and start forming a pattern I'm familiar and I recognize. Then I'm switching over to the 1 minute. And I've seen it just had its first pullback down here to the 365 level. And you notice all those long wicks on it at the top. Let me hit pause on this real quick just to show you. This is the importance of familiarizing yourself with patterns. You got a bull flag and an uptrend right here. It's making lower highs and lower lows, and it pops up. Higher highs, higher lows, pops down. Lower highs, higher lows, pops up. So we got pennants and flags. And right there from the 360 area, as it was holding that gain, this is starting to move back up. Very fast movements on this. That's why it's not good to do market orders. If you were to do a market order when it's pushing up to this over this 385, it immediately snaps down to this 370 area. If you were to do a market order, you'd get filled right there or even lower possibly. That's why they say set target areas to sell at and set it as like a limit order. And just like that, this is trying to break up to new highs, and it just broke to a new high. From 360 to 390, that's 30 cents, 40 cents as it pops up to 4 really fast. It's not a complete bull flag, because a bull flag would have pulled back and made 3 new lows and then broke out of the pattern. This decided to only do 2 pullbacks and pop up 40 cents. And it pretty much bounced perfectly right off this VWAP. Now everybody's dumping it. Pulls right back down to the VWAP again around this 375 area. And it's just looking toppy. It doesn't have that strength to push up and through. The times in sales is starting to slow down. And you got to think of what else is going on in the market too. You got attention on LCI. You got attention on BOXL. And when I had my scanners running, RSLS was going off the hook. So that was also stealing a lot of attention. This finally just levels out and goes sideways, and it'll start to fall off. Because more and more attention will start heading over to RSLS. Gets one more pop up to this $4 level. And it collapses. And this is what BOXL did for the rest of the day. It topped out here at $4, collapsed down to $3.40, went sideways, and then collapsed again down to $3. And then the rest of the day it just went from 3 to 338. And if I zoom out, this is what it did the days following. Went sideways, collapsed after hours down to 220. And now it's just slowly just dying out. And then last, the grand finale, RSLS. We get a run up here from $2 up to $3.10 before it gets halted. Or actually, it opens up here at $3.30 and runs up to $3.60. And then from $3.60 up to $4.40. And this just recently came out with a 1 for 140 reverse stock split. And this is a super, super, super low float at 30,000. 30,000, or is it 300,000? On Trade Ideas, it says 30,000. That's why it's always good to look at multiple sites to verify what the float is. Finviz can say something different. Yahoo Finance can say something different. Trade Ideas can say something different. And with a super low float like this can really rip. And I'm just going to let this just play out so you guys can see the price movement on it. Very thin on the bid and the ask. But with a low float like this, there's not really much supply. So a wave of demand is just going to eat this up, and it can either rip to the upside or downside. It really is a gamble when you're playing LS, a low float like this. If you're on the good side of momentum, you can ride it up. If you're on the bad side of momentum, you got to get out. Because this thing can drop from 5 right now down to 4 immediately. And it looks like it ran into a halt right there. Let me rewind this real quick. Watch how fast this just runs up. It was literally just at $4. This $4 area rips up to $4.25. Pulls back. Hanging around. Rips up to $4.38. $4.40. $4.57. $4.62. Pops up to $4.80 real fast. Hits $4.83. And this is when all the orders come in, and it's just pushing up, 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 up. This might be the ceiling on it before it gets halt. See, you had orders selling right there. If I back this up 1 second, we'll back it up 20 seconds. You'll see some 475 sellers when it's at 480, 476, 473, 465. And then this thing pops up to 493. And this is where it runs into its halt. And you can see they're readjusting the bid and the ask throughout this halt. And then it's about to reopen right here. Let's see where it opens at. Opens up at 463. Actually gaps down and opens. But then it quickly rips right back up to that 490 area. Running up to 5, surges over 5. Look how fast that was. Back that up. Watch it surge over 5. It hits 5, 515, 540, 545. In a blink of an eye. 515, 545, 550. Just like that. That's when putting market orders in and chasing this could really, really hurt you. It really could. This moves so fast. That this is just crazy how fast this surges up through 5, 515, 520, 540, 550. Just like that. If you were to go in and buy in on this with a market order when it's coming up to 5 with 2,000 shares, let's say you got filled at 550 and it drops back down to 5, you're immediately down 50 cents. You can see the bid just got 8 through and it dips down to like 517. And then momentum changes just like that. And then 560 makes a new high up to 570, 580. 590, just about pushing $6. We've seen this move up, spiking now $2. And then it surges up through 6 to 615. Lot of selling right here. Then it quickly reverses back to a lot of buying. It's just back and forth with this. 615 to 630. Still just pushing up, grinding, making new highs. 645 to 650 to 660. Then it starts to show weakness as it pulled back real fast just to the 625 area. Now it's starting to lose momentum. Everybody that bought on the way up, they're starting to see weakness and they're all going to start to dump it. This is up over $4 from where it started an hour ago. Now it's falling back below $6. Reaches back over 6, and look at that, pushes to 625, 640 level, just like that. Gets one last grasp of momentum. And then it's looking pretty weak, starting to fall right back below $6. That's why it's always good to lock in profits when you have it, because you are not guaranteed those profits until you lock it in. Right back up to 6 again. But it just runs into a lot of selling at 6. People who watched it come all the way down to almost 550, and when it came back up to 6, they're like, get me out. But there's always going to be people chasing this, getting greedy, getting FOMO. And just like this, it's about to make a new low. And just like that, it comes up to 6 and surges over 6 to 620. And then to 640, 650, 660, 670, making new highs just like that. $680, $699, $699. Wow. From the 550s level, runs all the way up to $6.99, $7, $7.10, $7.15. Runs into a lot of selling. Making a beautiful and perfect U shape on this. People are trying to save it, hold it above or around the $7 area, but the selling pressure just becomes overwhelming and too much. And it falls back down to the 650s area. But very quick action on this as it quickly rebounds back and above 7 to 720 to 730, making new highs. And this is what happens with super, super low floats. Shorts get in on it, wanting to short it. Buyers come in. Look at the fluctuation with the volume here. You get fluctuation here with the buying. You get selling, decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. And then you get the surge in volume, buying. Just a fascinating play to watch. You can see, if you rewind this, the past 30 seconds, this tried pushing up to 7, and every time it pushed up to 7, it run into a lot of selling. Same thing right here. Pushes up a little bit past 7, runs into a lot of selling. It's starting to get weak. But anything could happen with this. Anything. At this point, it's up way too much to try and chase this. Way too much. If you're not first, you're last. If you chase, you die. See, as it's struggling in the 7,725 area, dropping to 690, 680. It just keeps running into selling, selling, selling. Now look at it. It's starting to drop off. And just like that, drops to 650. When you get a sudden drop like that, that's when a lot of panic can come through. Because people are going to start trading with their emotions. Throughout this whole thing, majority of people are trading with their emotions. Look at how crazy the volume bars are. They're so just, there's really no pattern but this selling down, decreasing right here pattern. The buying is sporadic, just compulsively buying. That's all it is on this super low float stock. And you can see right here, it's having that rainbow effect. And just like that, it's from 725 to 7 to 650. $6.40 to $6.30, $6.20. Here it goes, dropping to 6, below 6. People are trying to save it at the VWAP right here. See a wave of buying come in, and then when they see it's not going to support it, they all dump it. And it drops from 575 down to 520. Look at the sell orders piling up on this. And it runs into a halt. And it opens up at 5 and drops to 491. Look at how crazy the volume bars are. All this just huge buying and huge selling on this. And it's still just dropping and dropping and dropping. Don't ever try to be a hero when a stock is dropping like this and dropping hard to be a hero and try to nail the bottom for a bounce. Because this thing could very well just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. These stock, never underestimate a stock. It could do anything. It doesn't have to bounce if it doesn't want to. And look it's just getting creamed. Look how fast that tape's going. How thin the bid is and the ask is. You start to see a lot of buying here at $4 because people are trying to hold it up at this $4 level. And just like that, you can't hold $4. And it drops below it. We've seen this drop $3.25 pretty much. Boom, just like that. $4 can't hold and it drops to $3.65. And then I'm going to fast forward it. Breaks through 4 down to 350. Now it's touching $3. Breaking below 3. goes up, comes right back down. You can see it's hanging in this around this $3 area. But to show you guys a couple pictures right here. Goes up, comes down, hangs around this $3 level. This is what it did at the end of the day. It closed around this $1.80 level. It dropped even lower. It dropped below where it opened. So this opened at $2, spiked to a high of $7.25, $7.30, and then everybody dumped it, and it dropped all the way down to $1.80. And then the next day, this opens up at $1.85 and runs up to a high of $2.80. $1 rip right there the first 6 minutes of the day. This is why it's good to watch when a stock goes supernova like this and dumps off. When it's a super low float, the next day people are like, hey, let's do it again. And they buy it, surges up $1 6 minutes this morning, and then falls right back down to where it opened. These low floats can be crazy, and this is why you do not chase these things. It's good to let patterns form. Play what you're familiar with. Play what you feel comfortable with. There were a lot of people who made a lot of money on this, and there were a lot of people who lost a lot of money on this. This is all emotions right here. That's all it is. That's all emotions. Greed and panic. But I hope you liked this video, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. And join the Trading Learning 101 community, where we share ideas and grow every day as traders. Until next time, guys, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. Alright, guys, later.